Hello everyone. Welcome to the Lightning Ball channel. If you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, please do so and activate the notification bell. Your support fuels my continued efforts. In the Tensura story, if we were to choose the most popular male character in terms of appearance, Diablo would undoubtedly have made the list. Throughout the story, Diablo exhibited the strongest contrast. He was cold and ruthless to others, yet utterly loyal to Rimuru-sama, almost like a devoted black dog. Diablo arguably provided readers with the most emotional value throughout the novel. But why was Diablo so obsessed with Rimuru? We previously mentioned in episode 26 that Miss Shizu's mask served as an important clue. In fact, the process from when Diablo first noticed Shizu's mask to becoming Rimuru's subordinate took nearly 40 years. During this time, Diablo behaved like an eccentric stalker. This story was recorded in a chapter of the Slime Diaries, a fascinating and information-rich segment. In this episode, we will explore why Diablo was so obsessed with Rimuru. So, let's get started. I think there was no need for an extensive introduction to Diablo here. As the primordial demon of the third pillar, Diablo had fought toe-to-toe with the strongest and oldest primordial demons, Primordial Red, in ancient times. This alone proved Diablo's unparalleled strength. However, as a demon, he was an anomaly. Almost all demons were fanatically obsessed with pursuing power, but Diablo showed no interest in these pursuits. He had no desire to build his own faction, nor did he care about the common demonic goal of obtaining a physical body. Diablo simply lived freely and unrestrained. Incidentally, most of the black demons under Diablo's command were also quite peculiar. Take Beretta, for example. Although Beretta was one of Diablo's subordinates, Diablo constantly sought to punish him. In this episode, we will also delve into the grievances between Beretta and Diablo. The reason Rimuru was able to summon Diablo was that Diablo forcibly responded to Rimuru's summoning, solely to become Rimuru's subordinate. When summoning demons, the summoned demon was chosen randomly, and it was impossible to designate a specific one. It was like drawing cards in a game. There was no guarantee of getting a specific character. Initially, Rimuru thought Diablo's appearance was purely coincidental, but he was gravely mistaken. Let's revisit the situation. Rimuru had wanted to summon demons because, after awakening as a true demon lord, he was overwhelmed by drowsiness. To handle the surviving Falmouth army in his stead, he decided on a demon summoning. Summoning demons was undoubtedly a highly dangerous act, but at that time, Rimuru's fury toward the kingdom of Falmouth had reached its peak, so he gave it little thought. Initially, Rimuru's plan was to use the souls of 20,000 soldiers from the Falmouth kingdom as a sacrifice to summon 70 greater demons to handle the situation. However, only 3 demons appeared. Rimuru's expression at the time was one of utter confusion, as the number summoned was far fewer than expected. Yet, due to his overwhelming drowsiness, he didn't dwell on it and promptly gave orders to Diablo. In reality, based on the magical intensity at that time, Rimuru shouldn't have been able to summon the primordial black. After all, primordial demons were on an entirely different level compared to other demons. But Rimuru, in his usual innocent and clueless manner, even told Diablo that once the task was complete, he could return to the netherworld. This remark dealt quite a blow to Diablo, which was one of the funnest scenes in the anime. So, why was Diablo summoned? During the summoning process, demons could choose their summoner from their side. Generally, though, demons had no reason to actively select a summoner. However, when Rimuru performed the summoning, Diablo used a technique called reverse specification. Sounds like an advanced technique, right? Well, the method was damn simple. Diablo cleared out all other demons that could have been summoned. In other words, the 70 greater demons Rimuru was supposed to summon were either killed or driven away by Diablo, effectively clearing the pool of other options, like removing all other cards in a game's draw pool. Speaking of demon summoning, we can't overlook Rimuru's first summoning of a demon, when he summoned Beretta in Ramras's labyrinth. That summoning, however, was actually intercepted by Beretta. Diablo had been secretly observing Rimuru all along, waiting for the right opportunity to be summoned. But as luck would have it, Diablo was away at the time, having gone to beat up Venom, and missed the chance. Meanwhile, while Diablo was covertly keeping an eye on Shizu and her mask, Beretta was also secretly observing Shizu, Rimuru, and the mask. Thus, in Diablo's absence, Beretta was summoned to the central world first. The reason Diablo cared about the mask will be explained next, but as for Beretta, his obsession stemmed entirely from the mask's design and craftsmanship, which utterly fascinated him. Because of this incident, Diablo harbored a deep grudge against Beretta and planned to settle the score sooner or later. The moment Diablo was summoned, Beretta immediately sensed his presence and became extremely nervous. Fortunately, Beretta managed to adjust quickly, attributing the tension to the psychological pressure caused by poor leadership. With past, present, and future seeming indistinguishable, there was no need to worry excessively. Of course, Diablo did intend to settle things with Beretta. After all, having his summoning intercepted was considered the greatest humiliation he had suffered in tens of thousands years. However, Beretta, ever the crafty one, countered Diablo by claiming that the body he currently inhabited was created by the greatest Rimuru-sama and, therefore, could not be damaged. This left Diablo helpless. Beretta keenly understood the extent of Diablo's obsession with Rimuru-sama, making it easy to deal with him. Now back to the mask. Diablo's first encounter with Shizu and her mask occurred more than 40 years before Rimuru awakened as a true demon lord. This event was detailed in the anime. Although Diablo's power far exceeded that of Miss Shizu, when he attempted to strike through her mask and face with a single blow, his attack not only failed to damage the mask but also resulted in his arm being torn apart and blown away. The experienced Diablo was instantly captivated by both the mask and Shizu, marveling at the seemingly infinite suppressive force emanating from the mask, which appeared to be layered with endless barriers of time. Diablo's attitude shifted immediately. In a moment of despair for Shizu and her companions, Diablo killed the archdemon Orthos of the Filtwood Kingdom, saving Shizu. From that point onward, Diablo became a true stalker, secretly observing Miss Shizu through a magical crystal ball. Occasionally, he would even appear by Shizu's side, sometimes acting as an ally during missions, other times deliberately provoking her to pass the time. Diablo's frequent appearances eventually became awkward, even for him. Shizu, on the other hand, remarked that Diablo's behavior was reminiscent of the neighbor Mikami's little black dog from her time on Earth. The dog would always circle around people and look dejected if it didn't receive the attention it craved. Diablo, thinking Shizu had discovered his identity as a primordial demon, was baffled when she merely compared him to the neighbor's black dog. Through their frequent interactions over time, Diablo and Miss Shizu formed a peculiar emotional bond. During his numerous encounters with Shizu, Diablo met the young Fuse, who was training under her and would later become a prominent figure in Bloomend. He also crossed paths with Hinata, Yuki, and even Chloe and Alice, the 5 children Rimuru would later meet. Alice, in particular, accurately labeled Diablo as a stalker and a massive pervert, a remark that amused Diablo, who considered Alice a sharp-witted child. Around this time, the yet unnamed black demon Beretta also became interested in Shizu's mask through Diablo's crystal ball. Fascinated by the mask's exquisite craftsmanship, Beretta ignored Diablo's warnings and secretly observed both Shizu and the mask. This fascination ultimately led to Beretta intercepting Rimuru's first summoning, much to Diablo's fury. As time passed, Diablo noticed that Shizu's body had reached its limit. She was becoming increasingly powerless, unable to suppress Ifrit within her. Seeing the once proud Shizu in such a broken state, Diablo even began to question whether his initial judgment had been mistaken. However, at this critical juncture, Rimuru appeared. Rimuru's radiant soul struck Diablo to his very core, igniting an uncontrollable excitement within him. At the same time, the mask, imbued with the infinite thickness of accumulated time, developed cracks. Yet, Rimuru effortlessly repaired the mask, as if the infinite temporal barriers posed no challenge to him at all. So, why was Diablo so obsessed with Rimuru? Clearly, the mask played a significant role. The black demons are known for their insatiable curiosity, and this is especially true for the primordial black at the pinnacle of their hierarchy. Diablo believed that if he could uncover the secrets of the mask, which held the weight of infinite time, he could unravel the mysteries of the world itself. Perhaps Diablo thought that Rimuru, who could restore this anti-magic mask, was a ruler capable of controlling infinite timelines, or possibly even the origin of the world's creation. Alternatively, he may have believed that by observing Rimuru, he could unlock the ultimate truth of the world. After all, Diablo's thirst for knowledge is boundless and unfathomable. In fact, before Shizu journeyed to the Jura Great Forest, Diablo had one final meeting with her. Both seemed to sense that it would be their last encounter. During this meeting, Shizu entrusted Diablo with a request: to witness the end of the world in her place. When summoned by Rimuru, Diablo, true to his nature as a demon, made no demands or requests for compensation. His only wish was for Rimuru to allow him to witness the world's ultimate conclusion and uncover its truth. This final request from Shizu became Diablo's lasting duty and the reason for his unwavering loyalty to Rimuru. The second key factor is Rimuru's unparalleled soul. Almost all the primordial demons have remarked that Rimuru's soul seems extraordinary. While the specifics of this uniqueness remain unclear, Dino once noted that Rimuru's soul was different from that of Star King Dragon Veldanava, yet evoked a deep sense of nostalgia in him, even reigniting his sense of purpose in this world. In the anime, when Rimuru evolved into a true demon lord, his body emitted 7 distinct colors, which might signify that Rimuru embodies the colors of all souls. In truth, Rimuru is the second master to whom Diablo has sworn loyalty. Diablo was once a devoted follower of Star King Dragon Veldanava. Perhaps Diablo's initial allegiance to Veldanava was also driven by his desire to uncover the ultimate truth of the world. After all, Diablo is the most unique of the primordial demons. His loyalty runs deep. Even after Veldanava left this world, Diablo continued to uphold his will. If not for Diablo obstructing the Phantom from passing through the underworld gates, Felway and his group might have already caused chaos in the central world. Given Diablo's unwavering loyalty and the fact that Veldanava is an immortal and indestructible true dragon, one might argue that Diablo theoretically wouldn't seek another master. This has led to the popular theory that Rimuru is, in some way, a reincarnation of Veldanava. Of course, we won't delve too deeply into that theory in this episode. Alright, that's all for this video. Diablo's appearances in the novel are incredibly frequent, so his story will take time to unravel. In our next episode, we'll continue exploring Diablo and the black demons under his command. It's going to be just as fascinating. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. Your support is greatly appreciated. See you in the next one.